Hello and welcome to another episode of Car Curiosities. In this episode, I will be discussing the importance of using relays. Now, today I came across a vehicle that had previously encountered electrical fire directly in the wiring harness and melted a whole section of it due to the fact that aftermarket fog lights that were installed weren't properly wired. What I mean by that is they were wired directly through the harness to a switch and then to the lights themselves. This might seem normal and okay, but the problem was that that wiring harness section wasn't capable or prepared to handle the current that those fog lights required. What a relay allows you to do is use a low current signal wire to switch a higher current, thicker gauge wire for a load such as a light. Now, what I have on the screen here is two examples, one of which is without a relay in a direct circuit, and the second one down here is with a relay. Now, what I'm going to show you here is the difference in current that is put through those wires. Keep in mind, the thinner a wire is, the lesser the current it could handle. And that's what happens. When the wire is too thin and it has a lot of current, it heats up, it melts, and it can start a fire. Think of it as a pipe. The smaller the pipe, the less water it can get through it at the same time. Alright, so let's continue. So up here in this circuit here, I have it set up so it's directly a 12 volt load, 12 volt supply, such as in a car, with a switch. And this right here will show us the current, and this will show you the voltage that's going across that load, being a fog light or any light in the vehicle. So when I turn it on, light comes on, you have source voltage, which is 12 volts, and you have 2.08 amps going through a wire at the same time. And that's going all the way through this circuit. So when we go down here, keep in mind this is a relay. If you pay attention here, the switch and the relay are on one circuit, and then that switch portion of the relay, keep in mind right here is the coil. The way a relay works, it is energizes a coil that throws an internal switch in the relay itself, controlling the circuit. So once again, this switch and the coil of the relay are on one circuit, and then you have power and ground going to the switch portion of the relay, the load being that light bulb, same as up here, as well as I have one amp meter installed here and one installed here to show you the difference between the two circuits in this setup. And again, I have a voltmeter to show you the voltage going across that light bulb. So let's power this on. So as you can see here, the coil section of that relay is only drawing 0.02 amps. Now that could be a much thinner wire than what would be required for 2 amps. And if you look over here, the circuit with the light bulb is drawing 2.083 amps, just like above here. So it's just drawing the regular one. And you have just about the same voltage going over the light bulb. Now what this allows you to do as well is reduce the amount of wire you're using. The heavier the wire, the thicker the wire, which would be required for a higher amperage, the more expensive it is, the heavier it is, and the more difficult to sneak into places it is. So effectively what this circuit down here would do is protect the wires from being overloaded, and less travel equals easier for the current to get through. And it would allow you to use a very thin signal wire going to that relay, maybe position the relay close to those fog lights and just do a circuit directly to, say, the car battery. So you'd be using a lot less heavier gauge wire in this instance than if you were doing the first circuit, and it would be a lot safer. Now the mistake that I found was made was that the thinner wire was used and it didn't look like there was a relay installed, and it melted a good section of harness, causing a catastrophic failure. I got to breathe in chemical dry for a little while repairing the problem. So keep this in mind anytime you're doing aftermarket, installations or anything that you want to add on to your vehicle, and this will keep you safe. Just thought I'd bring this up after dealing with it today, and I want to keep all of you out there safe and your cars from catching fire. So, thank you and have a good night, and thank you for watching Car Curiosities.